I have been in, chaos. The summer started, kids are home, projects on the house. It's just been chaos here. But I don't want to stop doing the tutorials, and I need to dance for my life because honestly, it's one of the things that keeps me happy, keeps me healthy, and doing good. Keeps me out of jail because it's a stress reliever for me. So anyway, this tutorial is going to be, I was thinking, something that's very important to me in my dance. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of important pieces to what I do. Sorry about that. I've been dancing around the garage, I'm sweaty, and I just turned off the fans, so if I start just dripping sweat, please ignore it. It's really hot here in Southern California, and my garage has no air conditioning or anything. It's like a sauna, so I usually keep 2 big fans going. But they're loud, so I want to make sure you can hear me because as convenient as voiceovers are for fixing things, I like to speak to you as I'm doing what I'm doing. I feel like maybe I can explain it better. But I also tend to ramble, so there's that. Luckily, I can just cut out the rambling bits later, maybe. We'll see. All right, so anyways, what I was saying. Sorry, this shirt's got some interesting little bits here and there. Anyway. So what I want to focus on today, what I want this tutorial to be focused on is our rib cage. I feel like this is a bit of an advanced part of the body to start learning control over, but I think that taking notice of it immediately and starting to work on it right away helps you along the way. It is a hard area to get control over the muscles because most of the time people don't know what muscles to use to utilize their rib cage. So I'm going to try and show you guys. I'm going to try and break that down a little bit. Rib cage, the chest. And it literally is your rib cage. I mean, our shoulders as well, we move them along with what we're doing. They flow with the rib cage. But to get control of your rib, to be able to lift and drop and lock and swivel back and forth and make circles out of your rib cage, you actually have to gain control of your back muscles and your oblique muscles, the upper part of your obliques. You have to learn how to expand and flex, expand and contract your rib cage without having to use your breath to do it, because then you'll pass out. After a while, you'll fall over. So that's a big part of any kind of belly dancing or isolations is learning to breathe with your movement, learning not to need your breath for your movement. The best thing to do to start learning how to lift your rib cage, and this is from the beginning, we're going to start from the beginning, is to squeeze your shoulder blades together, and I'll show that in a second, but you want to lift your chest. We're just going to lift the chest straight up like this. Now you'll see I'm elongating my torso, I'm squeezing my rib cage together and up, but the part that's making this happen is actually my shoulder blades squeezing together, which I think you can see kind of okay here. So you're going to lift the chest by squeezing your shoulder blades together. Can you see them? And I mean, I don't want you to do this in a way that makes you look like this. It's not the arms. The arms don't need to go back here. That's cheating, and it looks weird. And it makes it very hard to transition to any other movement. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, and you'll feel it press your rib cage up. So like someone's got the palm of their hand between your shoulder blades and pressing that rib cage up. That's what your shoulder blades are doing. So practicing moving those shoulder blades around in and out is a big help. And then just practice squeezing, contracting the muscles back there, pulling your shoulder blades together towards your spine. I hope you guys can see what I'm talking about. But, and drop, and lift, and drop, and lift, and drop, and lift, and drop. This is a big workout with it. So you're gonna lift your chest up, okay? So not like in our perfect posture. Our perfect posture is here, I'm slightly lifted, my shoulder blades are slightly contracted, my lower belly's pulled in. This is something that we went over in the last tutorial, but I can always do a tutorial just like a little short on posture. If you guys would like that, please comment or message me or something, let me know, because I can do that. And that's a big part of any style of dance is your posture. So we're gonna start with our perfect posture. If you need to rest your arms, you always rest them down here. Unless it's stylized for something you're doing, you don't want to put your hands here because that's going to cut you in half. So drop your hands down here. And we're going to press the chest up as high as we can get, squeezing our shoulder blades together. Hold it and release. Make sure that it's not make sure that you can breathe while you're doing it. If you're holding your breath, you need to work on saying your ABCs or something while you're doing it, so that way you're not dependent on inhaling to lift your chest. That's not what you want. And relax, lift, relax, lift, relax. Keep the lower belly tight, because if you don't, you'll bow out your back and that will wind up hurting your lower back. Lift, drop, lift, drop. Now there's 3 stages, or 3 levels for your chest to go to. So there's neutral, which is our perfect posture. There's high, or up, or top, up here. And then we can go back to neutral, and we can drop. Lift to neutral, lift to top. Neutral, drop. Neutral, top, neutral, drop. Lift, drop, lift, drop all the way down. So, if you drop to the bottom, we're not caving in our shoulders. So make sure that when you drop down here, you're crunching in actually, if this helps me, you're crunching in your rib cage, your central rib cage area. You're just contracting your rib cage, if that helps explain it. You're tightening those upper abs and pulling in that rib, giving you the smallest bit of waist here that you can get at the moment, you know. So you're lifting, we're not necessarily open ribbed, but they're not closed. But you can see that it's elongated here. Shoulder blades are contracted in the back again, just to make sure you're contracting your shoulder blades. So perfect posture, shoulder blades contracted, lower belly's tucked. Okay? And then when you drop, you can see I'm not caving my back in. I'm dropping my rib cage. So it's all coming from here. It's not coming from losing that beautiful posture. And sometimes in stylized work, you may cave in your chest. It's part of a look, it's part of the style, and that's okay. But you want to make sure that you can control the rib cage without having to go to the extreme of using your breath or losing your posture to get something to happen. So start with the levels. So neutral. We're going to try something different. So you've got the lift and the drop. And that's something that you can always practice, always, always, always. It'll get looser, it'll get stretched further. You can lift higher, you can drop tighter and harder. You can do it soft as well. It doesn't have to lock. I just like to lock it. But, so we're gonna also try a couple other movements. Start thinking about your rib cage. Let's actually bring our arms out, do a little arm workout at the same time. Get into your perfect posture. We're going to slide the rib cage to the left, your left if you're facing me, my right. Go ahead and slide it to the side, whatever side you want, it's fine. And then slide it to the other side. Slide. So it's as if your rib cage is separate from the lower part of your body. Your knees are bent. I'm not sure if I'm back far enough for you to see my knees, but your knees are bent. So that way your hips don't have to go with you. Your rib cage is separate from the lower part of your body. And that's what isolations are about. It's about breaking our body apart. We're taking it apart, learning to use all of the parts separately, and then we put it all back together. It's great. I love isolation. So, where were we? Sliding the rib cage. We're going to slide it to the right, to the left, or to your left, my right, whichever one you want to do. And I'm going to show you. Now, this is neutral chest. We're not lifted. Our shoulder blades are not squeezed. Bend those knees. The more you bend your knees, I feel like the easier it gets to keep your hips still. These movements are great because you can start to add shoulders. You can do all kinds of stuff with it, which I'll show you some more in a minute. Okay, real quick before we move on, I want to show you what this looks like from behind. So, knees are nice and bent, lower belly's tucked. You're going to slide right, left, right, left. So you can see my shoulder blades are still neutral. Make sure you're not holding your breath. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, so that is how you slide your rib cage from side to side. So now we've got up and down and side to side. And let's try going ahead and combining the two. So we're going to get in our perfect posture. We're going to slide right, up, back down, left, up, back down. Sorry, your left, up, back down, your right, up, So you're making a half circle. It's hot in here, so I'm probably dripping sweat at this point. I feel like I am. And you can lock. You can lock, drop, lock, drop, lock, drop. So, anyway, check it out. Basically, I've taught you 3 different movements. Lifting to dropping, we'll count that as one with the neutral as well. And then side to side. And then doing your chest U, we'll call the U, because it's shaped like a U. Okay? And you can mix those around and combine them in many different ways. So, and to take it a step further, because I know some of you are probably more experienced and stuff like that. To take it a step further, you can do circles. So just like we do Amis, which is a circle of the hips, an interior circle of the hips. So it's all isolated and controlled within our frame here. We can do the same thing with our chest. We're going to lift the arms, lift those elbows. So, where was I? We're going to go ahead and do the same movement as the U. We're going to take the chest and slide it to your right, your left. Slide it to the side, whatever side you want. So slide to the side, lift up to the center, slide to the other side as you sink back down to neutral and back to center. So you're making a circle. So we're lifting and dropping in a circular motion. Now, just because I'm telling you not to be dependent on your breath, doesn't mean you won't feel this. You are manipulating the rib cage. You are squeezing your muscles and contracting your bones. I mean, you're squeezing. You're going to squeeze your lungs a little, so you might feel it as your movements get deeper. You might feel your lungs kind of press, like the air will be pressed out a little bit on its own, and then it will open back up on its own. So you'll feel that, and that's okay. That's really normal. It's great. I mean, that means you're really contracting those muscles. You're really squeezing in the stuff that you need to be in control of. You get control, and it's great. So let's go ahead, before I completely melt, let's go ahead and do some more of those chest circles. So we're going to slide right up, center up, left down, center. Squeeze the ribs. You'll see you're switching which muscles you're using. And I'll show you that in a minute. So as I'm going to that side, your left, my right, I'm squeezing the opposite rib cage. I'm squeezing the obliques on the other side. So I'm going to squeeze. But this does not mean I'm doing anything weird with center. They stay soft and ready for whatever you're going to do with them. So squeeze the ribs all the way to one side. And then we're going to lift by lifting the ribs and squeezing our shoulder blades. So as we're squeezing the shoulder blades, they're going to center. Okay? So we start to squeeze and then squeeze and center the ribs. Does that make sense? So we're up now at the top. Everything's squeezed. And now we're going to release this shoulder blade in the back, pulling this oblique tighter, dropping that rib cage down to neutral. And you can go deeper as you get good at it. I like to use very big chest circles. It's okay to even use the arms as you get practice. Just make sure that you're not dependent on your arms. We're going to go ahead and do 4 to whatever your dominant side is, and then 4 to the other side. It's going to be sticky on the other side. It's going to be like, I don't want to at first, but just keep doing it. Keep doing it. You can do it broke down and then smooth it out as you go, okay? So start to the right. Right up, left, or down right. Start whatever direction you want, that's what I meant. 3, 4, stop at the center, switch. 2, 3, 4, stop at the center, switch, make it big. Use the shoulders if you can. 2, 3, 4, and switch. 2, 3, 4, and release. There are other ribcage movements, but we're going to stick with the directions today and the circles, because that's a lot in itself if you're a beginner. And then for the next one, if you guys are like digging the rib cage and getting control and having deep movement in your rib cage is unique. It's not every dancer can do that. Not every belly dancer I see has that kind of control over their rib cage, has that kind of movement, that kind of flexibility. So it's a great thing to practice. Not only is it good for you, it is good for your art. If you'd like my next tutorial to also be focused on the rib cage, let me know, and I'll teach you some figure eights and stuff like that, or something else, because there's lots of stuff, so many movements. But if you have another movement in mind that you would like to learn, go ahead and let me know if there's something in particular. I want to learn how to use my feet. I want to learn how to use my hips more. I want to learn to do something other than shimmy with my hips. I want to learn how to do circles with my hips, or I want to learn how to use my head. Whatever you want, just tell me. Tell me what you want, because that way I can more easily pick the next tutorial. Otherwise, I'm just doing what I want, and I feel selfish. So. Need a big God, big enough for you. Keep me up at night to my messages you do not reply. You know I still like you the most, still like you the most. You always be my favorite ghost. You need a big God. Start using it. It's just like your arms. Arms are usually one of the last things that people perfect, but it's one of the most beautiful parts of dance sometimes. And I feel like when you see people's arms and they are just perfect, you're like, that dancer has been working. That dancer has perfected what she's doing. So arms are something that, just like the chest, you know, it's a harder area. It takes more work to get control of. Sometimes you wouldn't think our arms would take that much work to get control of, but they seem to for some reason. So I want to, forget about the arm part, we'll get to that another time. I want to focus on it's a fantastic workout though for the bra area, the squishy area around where our bras squeeze the heck out of us. It's a hard area to hide anything because we have to wear bras fairly tight in order to do their job. So that's a great area to find a workout for, and practicing utilizing your chest and isolations with your rib cage is great for that. Makes your back nice and strong, sculpted, flexible. It's good for your spine, but at first you will feel it. It's a workout, and I'm already starting to sweat bullets. So the reason we lift our elbow is, so everybody's, you know got that soft bit there. You lift the elbow, you engage your tricep, and it tightens this area here. So just a little tip to help work out those arms, those beach arms, huh? Okay. This practice is not just good for learning control of your rib cage, but it's great for learning how to pop and lock your muscles, which learning control over your rib cage muscles is fantastic for that. So if you want to do any of those movements where you like pop your chest into place and drop it, a lot of that comes from these muscles. It comes from your core muscles. It's not the part of your body necessarily. When someone's locking their arm, it's not necessarily the muscles in the arm that are causing the lock. It's the whole body contraction to lock up and to stop. So this is a good practice for that, if that makes any sense. All right, so let's go ahead and lift, center, drop. Lift, center, drop. Lift, hold. Make sure you got your perfect posture, lower belly's tucked in. Drop all the way to the bottom. Okay? Sorry, I'm making it sound like my breath is a part of it. It's not. I just want to make sure that you guys are not holding your breath. Because if you fall over at home, I'm going to feel really bad. I guess I wouldn't know about it. But tell me, and I will tell you again, don't hold your breath. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead. Let's do 4 circles to one direction, whatever one you want to start with, and then try and reverse it. And I know it's always going to be easier one side than the other. Totally normal. As a matter of fact, American Tribal Style, I think they always focus on the right. But me, I don't know if it's a Libra thing or what, but I have to balance out. I have to be able to do it on both sides. Otherwise I feel raw. I need to be balanced. So, it's just like with a snake arm. You can tell when somebody's leading with the hand or leading with the elbow, and you want to lead with the elbow on the snake arm. If you don't, it looks like your hand is leading. Whereas if you lead with the elbow, it looks like the arm is flowing like a snake. Okay? So same with your chest. If you're leading with your shoulders, you're going to see that. Okay? So if you're circulating, you actually just can't. You can't do the movement unless you use your chest. It will not look right.